Good morning and welcome to the new edition of Dr.Lamba's Awakening Call. The Senate of Canada yesterday proved its uselessness and its competence as a rubber stamp. Yesterday, it approved the earlier motion passed by the House of Commons to revoke the honorary citizenship of Burmese freedom fighter, Lady Aung San Suu Kyi. Kyi is, as a matter of fact, one of the best administrators today, but she is not the real leader. And by revoking her citizenship, Canada has proved two things. A, that all its pretensions for the gender equality are bogus, concocted, and are calculated to mean what it does not say, and to say what it does not mean, in fact, the hypocrisy of the political leadership of the present government. Secondly, it has proved that it has no intention of really helping solve the problem of Rohingyas. And also it has proved that Senate in Canada is a useless body and superfluous expenditure being incurred every year into millions of dollars and has no definite help either to the society or to the country. Now, why was it revoked? It was revoked because, according to them, Suu is responsible for the Rohingyas murder, the mass murder that has been done. I fully endorse that they should not have been killing. I also fully endorse that no human life should be wasted. But can you really blame the Burmese government or the Myanmar government? In one of my live comments here, I had mentioned how Rohingyas had betrayed the country by requesting that they be allowed, that area be allowed to join Pakistan. Tell me which country would allow vivisection of that country? But that betrayal, that treachery of Rohingyas has been glossed over. I fully agree that in the retribution, many innocent lives have been lost. But that always happens. Tell me where innocent people have not lost their life because of the perfidy and treachery of a few people. I also say that that sort of inhuman bloodshed should have been avoided. But who is responsible for that? Initially, it was Rohingyas' treachery to the motherland that solved it. And now their association with Al-Qaeda. And that's why today morning, 7 Rohingyas are being deported to Myanmar from India. India, which has a history of compassion since 5,000 years back when they gave refuge to the Jews, then they gave refuge to the other nations. They have assimilated all of them. But then, this time they have been forced to throw them out. 7 Rohingyas, there are 40,000 still in India. But I'm not talking of Rohingyas, I'm talking of Canadian action in revoking her citizenship. This also shows another thing, this revocation, that our foreign policy is an abject failure. What happened to Saudi Arabia, with whom we were quite chummy, and with one stupid tweet, we destroyed that relationship, and lost millions again. Not only that, we got a slap on the face just last week when our minister, foreign minister Freeland, requested that Saudi Arabia and Canada should re-establish a relationship. And the clear reply was by Adel Zubayr, the foreign minister of Saudi Arabia, let first Canada apologize. How shameful it is when on the grounds of United Nations, a nation's foreign minister asks you to apologize, not to express regrets, but to apologize. So, the tweets posted by our Global Affairs Department was the cause of this rupture. And now comes this. More and more politicians have been asking for the revocation of citizenship. It's just an honor given to the people. And normally this is the first time that we have revoked the citizenship. She is no longer recognized as an honorary citizen. Do they think that she is going to ask for social welfare from the Ottawa government? It's not the will of the parliament. The other parties joined hands, but they joined hands for the narrow ends of garnering Muslim votes. Justin Trudeau admitted that this is a symbolic gesture which won't ease the suffering of the Rohingyas. It doesn't help them in any degree at all. Yes, it worsens their fortune because now the government can say, okay, they have stripped our leaders and insulted our leader, let them go to hell. This is not the way things are done. The history of the honorary citizens in Canada is quite interesting. Till today, only 8 people have got honorary Canadian citizenship. Out of them, some are dead. Some were given citizenship after their death. The first man to get it was in 1963, Winston Churchill, who died. Then it was Raoul Wallenberg, a Swedish diplomat who helped rescue Jews in Hungary during Nazi period. And this award was given after his death. This citizenship was conferred on him as if a dead man can use a citizenship. This is all ridiculous. William Penn, the founder of the province of Pennsylvania, was also given citizenship posthumously after his death in 1984. He and his wife both were given citizenship posthumously, and both of them are dead. Mother Teresa was given in 1996. She is dead. Gilbert du Motier, a French humanitarian who participated in the American Revolutionary War. He was awarded and he is dead. Kashmir Pulaski was awarded. He's a Polish officer who fought in the American Revolutionary War. Nothing to do with Canada. And he was also awarded posthumously. Then Bernardo G. Gavinci, a Spaniard who fought in the Spanish American Revolutionary War, was also given posthumously, and he is also dead. So who are living? Nelson Mandela, he was given the citizenship, and he is dead. And now Dalai Lama is still alive. And Dalai Lama was an agent of CIA getting 10 million a year. I had stated it here very clearly. So you have stripped somebody who had no role to play, A, in the Rohingya issue, B, even if she has a role to play, this insult of the head of the state is the most undiplomatic action taken by any government. This only shows that you are incapable of negotiating. that your diplomatic skills are absolutely at a nadir, at the 0 point, if not -0. Now, one response should be, or could have been, that the Myanmar government says we break the diplomatic relationship, as Saudi Arabia has done. The moment they do it, Canada would not be allowed to use any diplomatic means to help Rohingyas. So, who is gaining? Whatever help you can give them can easily be snatched away by one action of Burmese government, Myanmar government, saying that, okay, you have insulted our head of state, we have no diplomatic relationship with you. The diplomat can be asked to leave the country lock, stock and barrel. After all, what do Myanmar care for the Canadian people? Their trade with Canada is practically non-existent. Their major trade is with two countries, China and India. And then to some extent with Vietnam, Thailand. That's it. These are the four countries. It's a country which is very inward looking, which does not have any global pretense, nor does it think it to be itself to be a power. Buddhists rule the country. It's a Buddhist country, and their ire was ignited because of the treachery of Rohingyas. I agree, tens of thousands are dead and 700,000 have left the country, where they're living in squalid and overcrowded refugee camps. But look at the total living standard of Myanmar people in general. Are they living in a heavenly way, a very luxurious life? No. Their subsistence is on rice. Drink rice water, eat boiled rice. It's not a very rich country. It was a rich country. It was the country of the rubies. It was the country of the diamonds. But the British imperialism simply drained all the wealth away. Let's not forget that they are the most peaceful, loving people, and that's why you knew their former Prime Minister was also the Secretary General of United Nations. So if the peace-loving people are forced to become violent, whose fault it would be? But even then, okay, I say they should not have. But insulting the head of the state is no way. This is in fact running away from the reality. The ideal way should have been to encourage Myanmar to upscale the standard of living of those people. We didn't do that. We sent that person as a special ambassador who had destroyed Ontario, Bob Rae. Since when is Bob Rae a diplomat? And then Bob Rae, who is NDP turned liberal, has no diplomatic skills at all. And he cannot understand the subtle nuances. Culturally, that country is different. It's in fact a hidden kingdom. No longer a kingdom, but it's a hidden country. I called it a hidden kingdom because Tibet and Myanmar were characterized as such. People don't know much about that. They don't know about the culture, they don't know about the history. It's a country with a huge natural wealth. But it had the misfortune of first being robbed by the Britishers and then by some absolutely ignorant military people coming into power and snatching it in a coup. But Aung San Suu is not at all connected with that military hierarchy. She is a figurehead propped by the army to rule the country. But the real power is exactly like in Pakistan. Whosoever is the prime minister would obey the dictates of the army. And here the situation is still different. The head of state is the nominal head. Action is taken by the prime minister and the army generals. So by insulting this Nobel Prize winning lady who fought for the emancipation of Myanmar, who is an outstanding example of gender equality, shows the hollowness of the claims of the liberal government in promoting gender equality. It is insulting the womanhood of Asia, basically. Would this country's leadership never learn the basic things of diplomacy and foreign affairs? And would they ever get over the hypocrisy of their statements? This action of theirs has exposed A, the uselessness of Senate, B, the hypocrisy of claiming that we stand for gender rights, C, the mistake of our stating that we are aware of all the cultural, subtle nuances of all the cultures, and then interfering in the internal affairs of a country. And lastly, insulting a Nobel Peace Prize winner for narrow, capricious ends to garner some votes sympathetic to Rohingya cause. It is simply not done. It's not done at all. At any level, we have sunk to an absolutely low level of decency, decorum, and hypocrisy. Thank you.